What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devotional, and we are going to the book of John. We are diving deep into the character of who Jesus is, because if we know who Jesus is, man, then we begin to trust him more because of who he is. I mean, he's the most wonderful, the most smart. I guess the smartest would be the right term. He is the wisest, the most loving person uh, ever. And because of that, when you see that in him, the justice that he seeks to uphold and the care and the concern that he has for all people, then you begin to love him, man, and you begin to trust in what he has to say. And that's my goal here, guys, is to help you trust in Jesus more. And so if you're here because you want to learn a little bit more about who Jesus is, what he's done, and how he's done it, I'm glad you're here, and this is the perfect place to do it. We're in John chapter 12, verse 9 through 11. Again, stop the tape if you haven't read it yet. Go ahead and see what the scriptures have to say. Come back, and then we'll discuss the scriptures a little bit further. But if you have already read it, well, then let's go ahead and jump in and discuss it, man. The first question is, what's going on, man? What's happening? Well, what has happened before this is that Jesus has come into the city now, and he's come into the city and hung out with his friends because they want to celebrate who he is, man. They want to they want to cherish him because he's done so much, man. And then we see that the crowds are torn between this person of Jesus. We see that the people are wondering, like, or not wondering, but well, they are wondering, but they are trying to figure out if they should believe in this Jesus, if they should not. The Pharisees, they want him dead. And so now we're going to see what the response is of the people. It says that when the crowds found out that Jesus was there, man, then they came to see him. But not only him, they came to see Lazarus as well, because Lazarus was the one that had been raised from the dead by Jesus. And then because of this, now not only do the Pharisees, the ruling elite of the Jews, the high priests, the rulers of the Jewish community want to see Jesus dead, but now they want to see Lazarus dead. It says that they said the reason they want to see Lazarus dead is because of him. People are leaving the faith and believing in Jesus because of Lazarus. So what does that say about God? First off, it says that the one who changes lives is God, because what has he done for Lazarus is he has given him new life. See, that's the witness right there, is that Jesus has brought this person from the dead. He has changed him completely from what people thought was a hopeless situation into a situation of rejoicing. That's why they were celebrating Jesus in the first place, was because he had raised Lazarus from the dead. And everybody's heard about it now, and everybody wants to see it. And so God changes lives. The question is, are you ready for him to change yours? What does this say about man? Is that our lives testify to the glory of God. Because of the change in Lazarus being dead and then becoming alive again, many people begin to believe in Jesus. Our lives are testimonies, living testimonies to who Jesus is. Matter of fact, they're living testimonies to whatever we represent. And I hope and I pray that if you claim the name of Christ with your lips, that your life represents it equally. See, I think that's important for us to realize, is that our lives are testimonies. They're testimonies to who we place faith in more. For the high priest, their willingness to kill Lazarus just because he was raised from the dead, and Jesus because he says he represents the Father completely and fully, that he is the Son of God, their lives testify that they are not children of God, that they are children of Satan. While Lazarus, his life testifies to the glory of God. He says, if didn't I tell you that you would see the glory of God? And we are seeing it in the life of Lazarus. And then second, it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy living this life to walk in Christ. If our lives testify to the glory of God, we might have targets on our back. We might have some kind of pain and torment or struggle, because this life ain't easy, man. Satan, he desires to go after and to press against those who are living most closely to the goodness of God, most closely to the will of God. That's why he killed Jesus. That's why he's setting up these men to try and kill Lazarus. Is because they are aligning their lives to the desire and the will of the Father completely. So how do we apply these truths to our lives, man? I think the first thing is just to submit to God and recognize his goodness. That's always a good application, anytime, for anything. But if we're going to narrow it down a little bit further, I think what we should do is recognize that our lives represent something. And what is it that we want it to represent? If it's God's glory, then do it. And do it 100%. And that's what I pray it is. I appreciate you guys for listening, man, as we continue to study through John. And I'll see you in the next episode.